Hello, and welcome to Ad-lib Heroes. My name is Joey, and if you play this episode backwards, it is an hour-long loop of Billy Ray Cyrus's Achy Breaky Heart. At our table today...
Hi, I'm TJ, and I love Achy Breaky Heart. Also, I play Kirith Odell.
Hi, I'm Bev, and I play Olivia Fortier.
Hi, I'm Raleigh. I play Grimlock Seaspray.
Now let's get back to the story. Previously on Ad-lib Heroes, Grimlock, Kirith, and Olivia managed to recover one of the 3 stones Jenny Bagabone stole from the Court of Floating Lilies. They locked her in her basement and returned to the court to plan their next move.
What? Locking her in her basement is hilarious. This all-powerful hag witch and like fey creatures and goblins serving her, and Grimlock literally just shoved her down some stairs and barricaded the door and ran away.
All powerful, but not more powerful than leverage and a stove.
All right, so Kirith, you are running down the hallway after Terrigan.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh, a 3, so 10.
Okay, so he runs around a corner and you hear him skid to a stop and wait against the wall.
I'll pretend that he catches me off guard.
All right.
I'll actually even crouch down a little bit so I can catch him and kind of tumble over if he jumps at me.
Yeah, he tries to punch you, and he's going to be punching you in the stomach because you bent over. Otherwise, he would have hit you a little lower.
All right.
He has a 18 to punch you in the stomach.
Oh, yeah.
So he does 1 point of damage.
Okay. And I'll kind of I got an arrow there today. That hurt. Yeah. But I'll try to catch him and just fall over with him and do the whole
laughing like crazy. He's a 4-year-old boy, so you wrestle with him in the hallways.
Eventually just scoop him up in one arm and just where do we get pudding?
Oh, so he starts pointing down the hallway and...
Great. And being the terrible parent I am, I'm like, oh, do I have anything for kids to play with? I pull out a small knife and just, here you go.
He's like, ooh, did you ever stab anybody with this?
Those are all stories that I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But yeah, this is mostly a tool. Sometimes the job that needs doing is getting someone to leave you alone forever.
I'm going to learn how to use a longbow and a longsword.
Oh yeah, that's it's helpful. They're both very useful.
Mm-hmm.
My human parents taught me how to do that.
You have human parents?
Yes.
Wow.
I haven't told anyone that. I was raised by humans.
What happened when they died?
I was raised by others.
Oh, how old were you when they died?
15?
Oh, wow. I'm 8, he says.
Yep. Wait. Oh my god, I'm such a bag of shit. 8? Oh my god, I'm the worst.
He would be 4-year-olds if he was human, but he's a half-elf.
Trying to not let him see how bad I feel that I haven't known him for 8 whole years.
And as you head into the kitchen, there are pots and pans and ingredients flying around randomly. Nothing moving them. It's just the kitchen is moving on its own with no one in it. And he yells, 2 butterscotch puddings!
Awesome.
And so after a few minutes, a couple bowls float over.
Great. I'm going to just kind of take the knife back from him and we're not going to play with that while we're eating pudding.
Yeah. So you head to the comically long dining room table.
Yeah.
He goes and sits at one end.
I will sit next to him.
Okay.
There's only so ridiculous Kirith will be.
Yeah. So yeah, you enjoy some butterscotch pudding, and he starts telling you about the different people at court, who he's going to learn how to fight swords with, how someday he's going to get rid of Fiddlethump, because Fiddlethump is a dangerous gnome.
I'll mostly humor him, and
Yeah.
you know when you're hanging out with kids or like younger relatives and you forget to lie, like you're just
Yeah.
a little, you're like adult honest. Yeah, like that is Kareth's basic. Like, yeah, and then I killed him. Shit.
So yeah, you enjoy some butterscotch pudding and tell two truest stories as he talks about how someday he's going to be a great warrior.
Yeah, absolutely. That's real life. Sometimes you got to be a warrior, and you might as well be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you can win a fight, you don't have to fight the fight.
But if you don't have to fight the fight, then you don't. Then no point in putting yourself in danger.
Mm-hmm. That's what Maribel taught me.
Who's Maribel?
Maribel started teaching me swords.
Oh. And is Maribel one of the Fae, or is she?
Yeah, she's an Eladrin. She teaches
Okay.
beginner swords.
Beginner swords. Good.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, she says I'm learning really fast, and I'm trying to. She says I can't go into the 30-year-olds class, but I'm better than most of the 30-year-olds.
That's probably just because they have. You can't go in because they have like longer arms and stuff.
So he like holds his hand like half a foot over his head. They're only this much bigger. It's because they're all Eladrin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just talk to him about swords and stuff. I'll pull out my big like army issue sword, and this one we'll wait till you can play with this. Like that's not right away.
So he's looking at it and he crinkles his nose and he goes, "Is that a human sword?"
Yeah.
They don't make them very pretty, do they?
Well, you don't need pretty weapons. That's what I found.
Okay.
If you can have them if you like, but
Yeah, I want a really nice looking sword.
let me tell you a secret. If you're in a fight, they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But if you can scare them before you fight, then they don't get to hit you.
That's one way to go about it. If you have the opportunity to scare them, that's usually my opportunity to just get away.
But what if they're like in your village?
Never really had to deal with that.
Oh,
And if you have magic, then you can prepare in better ways.
yeah? Can you show me magics?
Yeah, sure.
Because Nalia says they're too hard for an 8-year-old to learn.
I started learning magic when I was probably about, I would have been about 15.
Yeah, she said that's when you can start, and you have to start with math.
Oh, well, that's... You know what? Nalia's magic seems a lot cleaner and nicer than mine.
Oh,
I don't know if I could teach you much today, but depending on how long I'm here.
do you do it with your armbands?
With this, yeah, with all of the fangs and fur and teeth, and I look at the twine around his wrist and just... I'll talk to your mom about it and see if we can... Yeah.
She says it's not good to learn sewer magic.
Yeah, that sounds like something she would say. That sounds exactly like something she would say. And you know what? She's mostly right.
But I don't want to learn math magic.
Yeah. That seems hard.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll just learn Mum's magic.
I don't know. I mean, if you can, you should. I've never seen anyone use spells like her. It just kind of happens.
So, Olivia,
What?
where are you at?
So this is the night before. So we were.
You had headed back to your rooms to ask Grimlock for advice on whether you should tell Kirith about what you saw with Nalia and
Are
Valenthe.
they just still talking and like?
Yeah, they're talking away from the guest wing that you guys are at. And you hear some running in the hallway, and Kirith takes off somewhere.
I don't know. I don't want to get in his business, and I know he wouldn't like that, but I don't think it's fair either.
Oh, he certainly needs to know. It's just a matter of timing.
I'm gonna go talk to her or Nalia or both of them.
Yeah, maybe, like, you could just force your hand and be like, hey, I know. I'll tell him. It's better from you. Go tell him.
I think there's some pain and some anger there that might be having Kirith not be treated like a adult human who was, when we went and saw you at the Red Smoke Inn, that was, when Kirith was basically working for my parents. He asked about a woman. Pretty sure it was her.
Yeah.
I don't know that she knows that's the kind of thing he was doing. You can come with me or not. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm gonna go talk to them.
I think I need to kind of get a feel for this place if we're gonna be staying here any length of time. I need to, like...
You're feeling uneasy?
Yeah.
Or not at ease? Uneasy? Uneasy.
I'm feeling uneasy.
Okay. I will head towards wherever they're
Yeah.
heading.
Okay. So you head down the hallways to the wing you saw them heading into. As you are kind of looking for where they are from around the corner, you hear, and then a whole bunch of goblins started shooting arrows in Kirith, and he was just plastered with them. And so I tried to sneak around to see if I could help him, and...
I will clear my throat loudly.
Okay.
Just
And you hear Nalia say, "Oh, Olivia, come on in."
I enter. Is it a bedroom or?
You walk in, and it is, it looks like some sort of music room. They're sitting in 2 of the 4 chase lounges in this room. There is a harp and a cello and a violin sitting near stools in the room. And in the roof, there is a slowly spinning set of lights that are blue and silver, 4 of them spinning around each other.
Don't get distracted, Olivia. Stay on task. Stay on task.
And they are both sitting there in like red satin robes, like house coats.
Forget what you're doing. Go play a harp.
This is a song I call "I Have Something Difficult to Say."
I will probably keep my eyes kind of down, because Olivia's not used to having to deal with this kind of stuff. I don't mean to pry, but I also can't unsee what I saw. I don't know the nature of your relationship with each other. I don't know the nature of, and then I will like dart my eyes up and make eye contact with Valenthe and say, I don't know the nature of your relationship with Kirith. I know in the short time I've known him, he can be really difficult. But the whole time I've known him, he's been looking for a woman of your description.
So she looks over at Nellie and says, I think maybe Olivia and I need a minute. And Nalia nods and just heads out of the room happily, seeming completely oblivious to the serious conversation. And Valenthe sits up on the chase lounge, so you can tell you've got her attention, and she motions to one kind of across from her.
I'll go sit across from her so I'm not awkwardly standing while she's sitting.
And she says, I found out Kirith is still alive today. And it's been 5 years since I've seen him on the prime material plane, or 8 years for me here, because time doesn't always move in the same place. And my relationship with Nalia, I don't know the word in Tucsonese, in common for it. The word we'd use in Eladrin Elven is primary. This is
Speak Elvish.
okay. Yeah, this is a Fey court where half of the people are nymphs and satyrs. Monogamy is kind of uncommon, and you can't really attend all courtly functions if you're entirely monogamous.
Olivia starts, like, she is only, like,
yeah,
she's a young person, so she, like, starts to blush a little bit, but nods her head.
So I don't know how I feel about the fact that Kirith is alive. I saw the other men and women in the neighborhood who went off to war return, and he didn't come back, and I couldn't look after Terrigan in Ralu. And so I found a place where I could give him a better life, assuming that Kirith was gone. I hadn't even thought about talking to Kirith about this, because, I mean, we were living in a human city, so monogamy was the default. But, I mean, if he really thinks it through, he's gonna figure out that I would not be what was considered faithful in a monogamous relationship. That started after I was certain he was dead. So figuring out where he fits in my life now, I mean, that's really, really complicated. And I am not calm when I talk to Kirith. I can't. You can see that as soon as it's about him, I'm not steady. If we're talking about other things, I can stay steady. I can stay focused.
I don't want you to think well, actually, to be honest, when I first saw it, I did judge you morally. And I apologize for that. It's not really my place, and I knew it, and I said it. But I didn't act like it. I'm sorry for butting in. It's very difficult what you're dealing with. But of the two of you, I think you might have to be the one to deal with it, because I don't believe that Kirith will.
Well, and the thing that is so hard for me is Nalia has been a better parent for Terrigan than Kirith has. I know he hasn't had a chance to be, but Kirith was 2 years old, just starting to learn how to walk and talk when we got to Terrigan. Sorry. Terrigan was 2 years old, just learning to walk and talk when we got here. And I mean, we were living with Nalia pretty early on. And I know he's excited about Kirith, but I need to do what's best for Terrigan, no matter what that means for anybody else's feelings.
Of course. And I don't mean, honestly, this is a conversation you should have with Kirith, and my goal was to hopefully remind you that though outwardly he would hate to hear me talk about any of this, he would probably be very angry at me for talking to you and probably say I don't really know him that well because I haven't known him for that long. But I am okay at reading people, and his method will be to pretend like he doesn't care so that he won't hurt you or himself or anyone more. And I think in order for Terrigan to not live in a world where people can't be talked about, I'm not judging your past, but it's happened. Kirith has appeared in his life, and I think that means that you and Kirith will need to talk about this kind of stuff. I don't know that that time is going to be immediate, and I apologize for...
That's what I want to ask you about. I mean, if Nally is going to go with you when you head back out to do whatever you're going to do next, and I know she wants to, is it better if Kirith knows now, or should I wait until... Because she won't think about keeping it a secret. It won't matter to her one way or another, because the same way that you were instantly offended, she would be offended by the thought that we were monogamous and she would have to care about his feelings.
Mm-hmm. Personally, knowing that you plan on talking to him about it, and again, if you're willing to do that reach out, because I could see him wanting to get back to the material and not making the effort. So if you're willing, past when we do this next portion, which I think is pretty... We need to go get the hammer. Jenny's mad.
So leave him focused and tell him when you guys get back.
Yes.
Because, I know you think he's going to be calm, but he and I live under each other's skin.
I don't think he's going to be calm. I think he's going to...
break
run.
Stuff.
I think he's going to run. I think he's going to go back to the material and back to what he knows. And if he is going to grow at all, he's going to need people forcing him out of that shell. And I know that Grimlock and I are trying. We received him in the state he's in, and I wouldn't be alive without him. He wouldn't be alive without me. And Grimlock is the same.
I also want you to know, because you're his friend, I haven't told Terrigan bad things about him. What he knows about his father is his father did whatever it took to protect him. And, Terrigan and I haven't sat down and talked about it yet, but I think Terrigan has figured out who Kirith is.
Again, I sincerely want to apologize, Nante. I am not judging any of your decisions. I had a brother who didn't come back from war, and we act like he's not dead. I don't know if that's better or worse.
So you know how hard it would be to figure out your life if he came back today.
And that's why I'm sorry I jumped to conclusions and honestly came in angry. So if you need support when you do talk to him in keeping things calm, I can try.
I think you might be overestimating your abilities.
Fair. I'm going to get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't envy your position, but if you need someone to talk to calmly about it, you can... I have an ear.
Okay.
will get up and head up to take a bath and think about my initial reactions to things.
This is Grimlock Sea Spray. I'd like to thank Balrugath, our contributing artist. Check them out on their Bandcamp, Spotify, or your favorite streaming service.
Hey all, Olivia here. If you're enjoying this story as much as I am, you can hear more from Joey. Check out Amazon for his series, Truth of the Empire. 2 books are out now, True Son of the Empire and True Sword of the Empire.
So, Grimlock, you are heading outside, where you can see the starry sky above and the daylight in the reflection of the water below. A few streets away, you hear a whole bunch of laughter and very, very fast music being played on string instruments.
I would go and check it out.
Okay, so you find a bunch of people from the town. So when I say people, I mean like it's a mix of gnomes. It's the alien-looking Eladrin elves like Nalia, and then in the center of these people who are all sitting there with goblets full of brightly colored liquids. Think like Star Wars blue milk, and like neon pink and bright radioactive green in these tall flutes. There are 2 satyrs, so half man, half goats, that have their forearms tied together and they are glaring at each other as they dance jigs at each other. Furiously.
Furiously jigging.
Furiously jigging.
I would probably be glued to this, watching intently to see like the nature of like how you win, and like this is clearly like a competition.
So as you watch, there is a ready dance that each of them do where they, and again, think very Highland dancing, where they are down and around their leg and down and around their leg. And then one of them will do a very quick series of dance moves and then go back to the ready. And then the other one will do that same series and add a new move on to the end. And then go back to ready. And they keep going back and forth, and it gets longer and more complicated and longer and more complicated. And the Eladrin leading the group of people playing the music slowly keeps speeding it up. And before you realize what's happened, there's a glass of something bright, bright green in your hand. And yeah, this is getting faster and faster and longer and longer.
I would probably just stick around and stay to watch, see how long it can go. Very impressed. Like it's, and the best part is like there's satyrs. They're gonna have like cloven hooves. It'll be very tappy.
It's very loud. Like every time it goes further, people cheer. You watch for 20 minutes. They're both soaked in sweat, and one of them finally misses a move. And everybody cheers, and they untie their hands, and the satyr that won punches the other satyr in the stomach and throws him in the water.
Assert your dance dominance.
I think I'm all. I think I might have 2 left feet.
This would be based off of the performance skill.
Okay.
You should still do it.
I'll probably sit that one. I was like, oh, acrobatics, maybe this, but no, this is just, that not my forte. Very like up my alley though. Like that's.
Oh yeah, and like people are already like trying to shove other people in, and one of them's like, "Dwarf, do you dance? You dance, dwarf?"
What would Sensei say?
Sensei would say, like, give it a shot.
Okay, so as you step forward, there is an Eladrin woman who comes forward and puts her arm out to be tied to you, and she says, "What do you want to bet?"
What do you have?
We can bet pain, we can bet pleasure, we can bet treasure, we can bet okay, I'll make you a deal. If I win, you have to drink, and she pulls one of each of the brightly colored drinks. You have to drink all of these within 1 minute.
Okay.
And what do I have to do if you win?
Show me how to get my budgies back.
You have to teach me how to get my dress back. I feel underdressed.
Like court clothes dress?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So she holds out her arm and they tie the two of you together. So she motions to you to go first. So you get to choose the DC of the first performance check.
Oh, neat. I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 10.
Okay.
Match or 15. So
15. Okay. So now she has to go at least one higher than you.
Oh, okay.
So she sets it to 11. So she copies your moves, which I assume are like the start of one of your fighting forms. But tell me if it's something different. I mean, it could be a traditional dwarven jig. What does your dance look like that you just did?
Yeah, it probably would be like something similar. Like I'm not wearing taps, obviously, but like, trying to stay nimble and like very vertical kind of
Okay.
thing.
So she's going to raise it to 11, and she adds in a couple of longer sweeps at the end. And as she tries, she falls and pulls you down. And she's like, all right, and untie. And she's like, all right, so if you want your court dress back, the rhythm is, and you have to clap. And as she does that, a bunch of flowers spout covering her in, hers looks like a Hawaiian shirt.
Cool.
Out of flowers. And your budgies come back and form your dress.
I miss these little guys. And I'll grab one of the glasses and hand her the other.
Yeah.
Hey, thank
Cheers.
You. Yeah.
And she throws it back and drinks it like a shot.
I probably would have went for more of like a.
You take just a little sip.
Yeah, and then just
because it is sweet like sourpuss, like it is alcoholic, and it is almost pure sugar, and you can tell what kind of hangover it would give you if you had to down all three of these.
I would start with the sip, try to keep up, and like.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. She says, "I'm Maribel. I teach children."
Oh, cool. What do you teach them?
Mostly swords and bows.
That's super cool. Do you? You'd have a lot to talk to my sensei about. Like it is like.
Oh, is he a swordsman?
Of many other things, yes.
Okay. Oh. And she gives you a dirty look and nods.
Oh, no. We practice hand to hand mostly, but with swords.
You fight without weapons? I thought dwarves loved axes.
I mean, some do. It's like like if you're not strong enough to lift something, you'd use a crowbar.
Right?
It's like, if you're not strong enough to fight someone, you use a weapon.
So you show her an axe kick?
Yeah.
Not that you're not strong enough, just, of dwarven tradition, it would be, like, they love the axe because they haven't progressed, kind of thing. Not that everyone has to, it's just a dwarf thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's like a more evolved form of combat.
Yeah. Like
okay. Because like my weapon is part of me, she says.
Mm-hmm.
And she holds her hands in front of her and she puts one hand in the air like she's grabbing a sheath and pulls a sword out of the thin air.
And that would be Grimlock's reaction as well.
And then she looks at you and she looks out in the water and she hucks the sword out into the water and then grasps it and it reappears in her hand.
Oh, no way. That is thoroughly impressive. Can you show me how to do that?
So it takes, it takes most elves like 25 years to learn how to do that because you need to learn the magic that goes with the swordsmanship. So like when I'm teaching children, I'm just teaching them basic sword fighting, and not everyone can handle the eldritch side of it.
Yeah, see, like the dwarves you know of, they would be limited to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like internalizing the axe, whereas I'm enchanting the sword.
Yeah.
So I feel like the two of you start having a long martial conversation as you watch more dance battles. The thing you start to realize is most of these people don't sleep as much as you do as the night is going on.
My knuckles are kind of starting to lock up here. I think I might have to retire to the bath.
Oh, okay. Okay. So she says, so if you need me, the call to get one of the songbirds to deliver a message, and she gives you like a series of tones you can whistle.
Cool. And I'll...
You don't have a songbird, do you?
Oh no, I just assumed that, as with many other things here, it would just kind of appear.
Well, I mean, you'd need to talk to one of the druids to get one.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I'll.
So she points to one of the lilies. She's like, "You can head over there if you need it to get a songbird." That.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Yeah, I'll make a stop before I head home. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Fantasy Twitter.
I wasn't even thinking that. So does anyone else have anything they want to do that night before they sleep?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Hearing about Kier's life is depressing.
Meanwhile, Grimlock comes in and he doesn't realize how much the drink has made him feel floaty. The alcoholic beverage you've been consuming has actually reduced your weight by 25 pounds. So as he's walking, he's like, flop bloop, flop bloop. He comes way high up and then falls, and you can tell he's not sober as he walks in.
Like moonwalking over to you guys.
Yeah, I think Olivia will, she's probably out of the bath by the time he gets home and is, getting ready for bed. Y'all good?
Oh yeah, I had a fantastic time. How'd it go? How'd spilling the tea go?
Incredibly depressing, and also has me reevaluating my snap judgments. Really, well, okay, can you quit jiggling around over there? What? Are you drunk?
No, I just had one drink. It's fine.
Okay.
Are you?
I spoke with Valente. She will talk to him. Just, she doesn't want to detract from our current mission. So let's sleep, get this done, so that we can. Oh God, I sound like Kira. What is this? I.
Meanwhile, you notice that not only is he wearing his court clothes, but there is a bright red bird sitting on Grimlock's shoulder.
Did you just go bird gathering, or?
Oh no, you clap 3 times and they just come over to you. Remember?
Yeah.
You've also got a tone you can give people. They can whistle for your bird, and your bird will go and find out what they want and come say it to you. But it only works within the court.
Don't at me, bro.
Oh, okay. So if you ever need to find me, if you just whistle or use your pan flutes and you go, oh God, that's a lot of pressure.
Bam 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 bam.
No, if you go
and his bird flies over and lands on your shoulder and is looking right at you.
Tell Grimlock I'm going to sleep.
So the bird comes back and, like a Kenku, says, "Tell Grimlock I'm going back to sleep."
Have a good night.
All right, later, potato. See you later. And just moonwalk over to
Your own room and
oh,
sleep in the cushions that are pushed into a frame to make a makeshift bed.
like slow motion dive into it.
Okay. So the next morning, Nalia is out in the hallway before the rooster says and gets there and says, "Are you guys ready for breakfast?"
Yeah?
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, I've been up for hours.
I'd be rubbing my eyes, crack my knuckles. It sounds like a cement mixer just. So yeah, let's go.
So I had the servants try cooking bread without any sugar in it.
Well, you put a little sugar. Oh, okay.
They can try again if you know the recipe.
It's okay. Thank you. It was kind of you to try.
And she says, "I'm sorry, Valentine can't join us. I kept her up super late talking, and she needs like 6 whole hours of sleep every night."
Yeah, that'll happen.
Well, your first mission went well.
Mm-hmm.
Should we present in front of the court before we head back?
We can. I mean, we can just leave the seat here and present when we've got all 3.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to.
Is there a way around Jenny's orchard to get to the...
Yeah, we could take a leaf to the edge of the river that's on the border and talk to the river lord and see if he'll let us pass.
Okay. And then we can try to get to the bugbear from there.
Yes. Yeah, we'd need to sorry, give me just a second here. We need to go into Urander Forest. That's where the Goblin Legion is.
Okay.
Do you guys need anything before we go?
I think I'm okay.
Does coffee exist here?
Yeah, we have coffee.
Does it exist not filled with sugar? I want it bitter.
You want it bitter?
Yes.
So she rings the bell on her end of the table and calls in a servant and says, "Can you bring a coffee, but suck out the sugar?"
What do you mean suck out?
I mean, I'm gonna...
It's just a bunch of ice caps.
Yeah. When we make coffee, like, you pour it into a cup that is half full of sugar, like ground beans on top of the cup, sugar in the bottom, pour the water in so that you can get it fully saturated.
Oh my god, that's insane. Yeah, let's just not.
I mean, it's an unseen servant sucking it out. You won't get any taste because, I mean, they're just made of arcane energy.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
I honestly thought it'd be like a coffee hummingbird or something.
You're very obsessed with birds.
Bird, not bird. Yeah, gather my pack and everything and come back for the now sugarless coffee. And...
Yeah. It's like a half full cup.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so you head out, go back to the docks where there are a bunch of naiads flutter kicking in the water with leaves. Nalia hires one to take you out, and you skirt along the edge of the Borsee to the north end, and kind of walk along that area until eventually you come to a river that is probably about 800 feet wide and is moving very, very quickly.
I'll just turn to Nalia. How do we bargain with the River Lord?
As you say that, in the water, something starts rising up, and then there is a huge gray dome coming out of the water, and it keeps coming up until there is a catfish the size of a horse staring at you from out of the water. And it says, "I am River Lord Kavik. I am here to bargain."
Just do like a small bow and be like, "Your Honorable River Lord Kavik, we would like passage through. We can offer you some rations from the material plane."
What are rations?
I pull out just like some tack and
That looks disgusting.
I don't know what you like to eat.
There's no bugs in that at all.
Oh, bugs. Kind of scratch through my hair.
Yeah.
I have some material. They're not large bugs. They're mostly just like fleas.
That is not a meal for the great River Lord Kavik.
That's fair. I guess we also have some candy, don't we?
Yeah.
Candy is for elves.
Ah. I
This guy wants some garlic.
I could play you a song.
Is it a new song?
It's a song to honor His Honorable River Lord Kavik, and it's a ballad of the love he is soon to find.
If I like the song, and you play it every new moon for a year, then I will give you passage.
Okay. Question is, how good is his music knowledge? Because if I just make it a scale, it just means I have to practice every new moon.
Oh, God.
No, I will try to improvise a good sounding song.
Okay.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So as you start to play the song on your pan flutes, the river becomes calmer and calmer. And eventually he starts stepping out of the water. He is a catfish with comically small arms just kind of flapping on his side and little legs out the bottom. And he comes and he's trying to clap, except he can't get his hands in front of him. So he's like beating his fish sides along to the beat of your song. And he says, "This is a good song and I am pleased."
This asshole's over here clapping on 1 and 3.
What is your name, singer?
Olivia Fortier.
Olivia Fortier. You have the favor of River Lord Kavik. If you wish, you may marry my third most beautiful daughter.
I am sadly betrothed on the material plane and will have to return there, so it is not helpful for your great lord.
Then I would allow you to marry my 8th most beautiful daughter as a second wife.
Let me show my devotion to you for the next 3 years before you make such a gracious offer.
Of course, when you play your song on my river, a log will appear and take you where you wish to go.
Is anyone else just imagining the robot daughters on the moon from Futurama? You-hoo.
So I will play that song again to get a log.
Okay, so a huge log, like probably about 2 feet across if you were sitting on the top, floats up in a calm part of the river that is rapids on either side.
The song that you made up is actually just the log driver's waltz.
Yes. Okay. Shall we go?
I suppose.
Okay, so yeah, as you sit on the log, the river doesn't lap up on it. It is comfortable and dry on this log.
You are
And it is
weirdly at home in the Feywild.
Yeah, I guess.
and wherever you think of it floating, Olivia, it floats in that direction. You can make it go against the current just with your thoughts.
Nalia, which way do we need to go?
We need to follow the river for about 15 miles.
I just think in that direction.
Okay. So it picks up speed as fast as you want it to go.
I go with whatever's comfortable but quick.
Okay.
Like, I don't want our
Yeah.
cheeks, like, our hair totally blown back. We're close to being in a motorboat, but not quite exactly.
You don't quite log ride it. It's like,
Yeah.
like in a theme park.
Yeah.
So as you get along, you start to see Jenny's orchard on one side. As you're passing along, you start hearing a voice go, "Gobble, gobble, gobble," from the orchard side.
Just go faster and
And
farther
any idea
away.
what that was?
Do any of us speak gobbledygook?
Nope.
Was it?
It was gobbledygook.
Okay.
As you go along, eventually you see that there is a goblin upside down with a loop around his foot in a wicker cage hanging from one of the trees, and he's shaking against it, yelling, "Gobble, gobble."
Should I slow down?
And he's caught in a wicker cage on Jenny's side of the river.
Yes.
If he speaks any language we speak, he might be with the Goblin Legion and he might be able to give us information.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Do I have the spell?
I'll call out we're obviously not hiding. We're in the middle of the river and just
Right.
Yeah, I'll call out in Elven, I guess. Just, do you speak anything but gobbledygook?
So yeah, you call out to him in Elven, and he says, as he calls back in common, "You speak, man?"
Yeah.
Yep.
"Please help Vari."
Gross.
Who's Vari?
"Vari is Vari," and he like pounds his own chest.
Bari, who captured you?
"Oh, bugbears. Bugbear trap.
Mm.
They think all goblins need to be conquerors.
Okay.
Vari just wants to make butter bitter.
Oh, you're one of those.
You like smooth butter? If you help Vari, Vari gives up making butter bitter."
Do you know where the bugbears are?
"Bugbears sneak across the river, set traps, and kidnap us."
Huh. I mean, he's one of Bagabone's goons.
Vari hates Bagabones?
Yes, we all know nothing has real loyalty here.
When was the last time Bari ate?
Vari's not hungry.
Okay.
Okay, so you're saying that the bugbears set up traps and then come and get you out of the traps and take you to go fight with them?
Yes.
Fight for them?
Mm-hmm.
If we wait here for them, the bugbears will show themselves. We can find their camp.
And then we would save Bari. Bari would have to go with the bugbears for a short time to show us where they go.
Vari can help you find their camp. Vari doesn't have to go with bugbears.
I don't know why I think he's so cute.
It's completely up to you guys. We also have a general idea from Jenny Bagabones about where this guy's camp is.
Vari, have you been there before?
No.
Are you an expert navigator?
Yes, Vari is very good at navers.
Navigating the gates.
Bari will do anything if you help him.
Do you want to just like, if we let you go, do you want to just like, I guess like come hang out, but don't go and rat us with?
Bari will come with you if you free him, as long as you don't give him to bugbears.
Well, we shouldn't give him to bugbears.
Do you know about... do you know any of the bugbear leaders, or any of them specifically?
Stone is leader of bugbears.
That's the one we want? Yeah. Do you know where he is?
Yes.
Where he stays?
Yes.
Do you know what he looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Like a bugbear.
He has 3 braids and beard with beads. Stone is mean and Vari hates him. Real hate.
How many words in gobbledygook are there for hate?
30.
Hmm.
For Stone, Vari feels kato.
Oh. Gato.
It's a naughty word.
I'll yell it at Ston when we're fighting him.
Yeah. He'll hate it.
Great.
Well,
If you can show us exactly where his camp is, sure.
Mm-hmm. Vari will be your guide.
Okay.
cool. Right, I'll start helping him down.
Okay.
Join us on this giant log.
Okay.
Are you interested in marrying the River Lord's daughter?
How ugly is she?
She's the 8th prettiest.
Blech.
Okay.
Vari wants an ugly wife.
Oh, okay.
We never asked how many how many he has.
The River Lord has 2,000 daughters.
Of course. How didn't I know that?
Because you're not from here.
That's a good point.
You're a smooth butter dwarf.
It's okay. Don't.
Yeah, don't break your head trying to puzzle that one out.
You live in smooth butter world.
As opposed to Bitter Butter World.
This is bitter butter world.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Cool.
First, we have to go to Hobgoblin's Gate.
Wait, is Bitter Butter gritty?
Yeah.
Oh.
Delicious herbs in bitter butter.
Oh, okay.
No, you know what? I'm not having this argument. Show us to this Hobgoblin Gate.
Okay, follow the river 2 more miles.
Oh, god damn it.
Do you know how to get past Hobgoblin Gate?
Customs or sneaking?
Either. Can you get us past it
Yeah.
easily?
Do you want to do customs or do you want to sneak through the hard woods?
What's the customs?
We talk to hobgoblins, tell them we're coming, pay taxes.
Is the taxes just gold and silver?
They love metal.
Easy.
Although that will tell Ston we're coming.
That'll tell Ston that people are coming.
That's true.
We could just pretend to not be people, too. We could pretend to be like, I don't know, like a giant pear or something.
Do I know much about hobgoblins?
You can roll me a history check.
Ooh, boy, I'm bad at this. Nope. That's a 4.
I could disguise myself as Jenny, and you guys could just be.
I mean,
lackeys.
if the goblins are straight up like at war with her, that might be more of a hindrance.
Isn't
where's-
she?
She trades with them.
Oh, okay. Well,
They
he
buy
seems
lots of butter.
he seems to think we can just get through it via customs.
Yeah, but if I look like Jenny, maybe we can get all the way to Ston really easy.
Does your disguise only lasts a couple minutes, right?
An hour.
Or an hour?
Wouldn't Jenny also have to pay taxes?
Yeah. I just
Jenny
I don't
pays 4 skulls in taxes.
I don't
Oh.
see the immediate benefit.
Not tree skulls,
of-
real skulls.
I think it's
Oh.
more useful to save your spells. Is all. Real skulls? Sorry?
Hmm. Jenny pays for real skulls when she does custom.
Oh, great. Cool. Yeah, cool.
Sometimes
cool.
rats, sometimes humans.
You probably have some rat
I
skulls.
need those.
Do you have any, like...
I have copper. It's fine.
Okay. Will they accept copper?
Maybe. We always pay skulls.
Cool.
Where do you get the skulls?
Killing.
Oh.
Murder?
That checks out. Okay.
That Kirith's just that is the way you get them usually.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so you guys head further up the river, and as you travel along, the sun begins to set again. And soon it is dusk, just after sunset, in the way that it gets in the Feywild where you travel.
Mm-hmm.
On the side of the river that is away from Jenny's orchard, there is a huge dark pine forest with fog skirting the ground. There are craggy hills, and on a bunch of the hills you can see torches and lanterns lit. Eventually there is almost a dock on the river, but the river has battered it away. And there are some boats that are pulled far, far back from the river. A lot of them have holes in them and have been badly beaten by the river. The sky here is overcast, and every once in a while lightning peels through it. And up ahead, between two of these hills, there is a stone fortress. And walking along the stone fortress, you see heavily armored figures with big, impressive beards and morning stars walking up and down. They've got all kinds of weapons and heavy armor. And there is a gate that is crossing this valley, so it would be a difficult climb to go around it, but a road heading up to it that it would be hard to sneak up on if you're heading for this gate without climbing the hills.
But Vari says there is a way to sneak through the hills.
It's hard climbing, or we go do customs.
That there's no secret. It's just a hard climb.
Mm-hmm.
I can get us back out once if shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Because knowing us, shit's gonna hit the fan once we try to get this hammer, and then we won't have to come back through customs. I can just, I can get us out.
Cool. Vari is good at stealing. Vari will help you.
What do you steal, Vari?
What do you want? Babies?
No.
No.
Vari never steals babies.
Oh, good.
How does Nalia feel that we've befriended a goblin? Is she...
So she's been quiet since Vari showed up, and she sits at the far end of the log from him.
That's fair. It's kind of gross.
But you have noticed she has somewhat of an aversion to a lot of the, like, she'll go through the dirty things, but as soon as she's on the other side, she uses that spell to clean her.
Mm-hmm.
Just she has cleaned herself several times as you guys have been walking.
Can I tell if her aversion to Vari is like on an ethical level, or that he's like smelly and gross?
That is an insight check.
Okay. Nope. I rolled a 2, so 9.
Yeah, she doesn't like him.
Okay.
So, shall we call it there as you guys approach Hobgoblin Customs?
The Hobgoblin border.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
I'm really excited for the hobgoblins to be like with clipboards and just really bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two kinds of lawful evil.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking of the bureaucrats from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that come to destroy the Earth.
Oh man,
That's a lawful evil.
yeah. I'm thinking of the like demons who run hell in Dragon Ball, who are like they're like blue and red skinned and horns and stuff, and they're in the two variations of like they're either giant wrestlers, literally like Olympian wrestlers, or they're like wearing a suit and tie and like clipboards and walking around and just counting lost souls.
Yep, it's still hell.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, in the English dub it's Hiffle, the home for infinite losers, and they just had to change a couple of the letters on everybody's t-shirts. Yep, still hell.